Actually, it doesn't even matter how much risk you go for immediate 5-second plays.
You care? Douglas? Yeah. Douglas, you want to be my bestie? When we get to the consent agenda, can you motion to move the new business, the resolution on new business, before the vacancy election? Okay, let's do it then. Amazing. I'll put that down. Is this still, I guess this is still technically motion by Vice President Ebert, but she's not here. Or do we change it to
Well, she's not here. She's not here.
Cool. So if you second, and then you are going to move the new.
Okay. Well, all motions like okay.
Reminding myself to do that. No.
Thank you.
Volunteer, sorry. Next motion.
Next motion.
We'll have like a lineup.
Yes. All right.
Kashani, you look good.
It is 4:01. Are we ready? 4:02. All right, everybody. How we doing? We ready? I am going to go ahead and call our student government meeting to order at 4:02. Sorry for the loud noise. We're going to go ahead and get us started with a nice roll call. So I'm going to go down the list. Senator Geber Miriam, I believe over Zoom. I see them over Zoom. Are you able to indicate that you are here by saying here, or a howdy or a hi? Oh, I got a thumbs up. That works. All right, Senator Bassnett. Senator Bassnett. No, Senator Bassnett. Senator Larson.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Woldekaiden.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Dermenji.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Victor Wynn.
Yeah.
Thank you. Senator Roberts.
Here.
There we go. Senator Abera.
Here.
All right. Senator Nick Wynn.
Alive.
Awesome. That is good news. Senator Nurala.
Here.
Amazing. All right. Senator Dustin.
Yep.
All right. Senator Atmaker.
Here.
Senator Atmaker, thank you. I actually have a placard for you. Will you pass this down to Senator Atmaker? Senator Mendez Martinez. Thank you. Senator Hawk. Thank you. Senator Mesta.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Ahmed Osman. Senator Osman. Nope. Senator Parikh. Senator Parikh. I do not see Senator Parikh. All right. Senator Tamim. Senator Tamim, thank you. Senator Blanchard.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Hansen.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Jha.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Royger.
Here.
Thank you. And myself, Speaker Novak, here. President Zelmer.
Here.
Heck yeah. And Vice President Ibrahim is unfortunately not here today. So, jumping into our agenda, the first thing up that we have for today is a presentation from Karen Anderson from Campus Kitchen. Take it away.
Makes it sound so official. Hi, I'm Karen Anderson, and first of all, can you hear me okay? Great. So it sounds so official for looking for a presentation. All I wanted to do was give you an update about how things are going with the Swipe Out Hunger program. As some of you may be aware, about 3 years ago, at this point, this is the third year, we began the Swipe Out Hunger program where Seduxo would donate so many swipes, and students who are facing food insecurity on an emergency basis could apply to receive some swipes to be able to use the cafeteria. At this point, we have used 142 students have received swipes at this point, and we're talking about the third week of classes. We have about, 800 swipes left for the year. Just wanted to put that in perspective for you all to help people understand that Swipe Out Hunger is meant for an emergency Band-Aid until people can get to one of the many food resources we have in the area. Of course, you know that MSU has a Maverick Food Pantry. You support that financially by your fees. I manage the campus kitchen. We're partners with the campus cupboard, which is an off-campus food pantry that's right like 10 steps off campus, so students consider it here as well as the food that's distributed through the campus kitchen for students through the campus kitchen bread cart and the food campus kitchen little fridge, as well as the other programs that we have going on, Echo Food Shelf and the like. I wanted to bring this to your attention because I feel like things are going mighty fast with food swipes being distributed. The goal behind Swipe Out Hunger is for an emergency cover, and I really just want you to help other students understand that it's just for emergencies. It's not meant to be the thing you go back to and get more and more swipes all the time. It's meant to be that Band-Aid until you can get to those other resources. And we have, compared to a lot of other schools, we have a lot of food resources in our community. Between the two pantries that are close to campus, Campus Kitchen, as well as Echo Food Shelf downtown. If you go on Involve you can search for all of the events that offer free food. I feel like nearly every office that I go to has some form of food on their desk, and in student activities, usually if you go back a little further to the kitchen area, you'll find, a plethora of food. Last week we had cinnamon rolls a few times, among other things. So the goal, though, is to help students understand that Swipe Out Hunger is only meant as a Band-Aid to get you to those other resources. It's not meant to be the kind of thing where you go back to over and over again. We're already starting to have students asking for a second dose of swipes, and I understand that food insecurity is a concern. That's not to say if it is an emergency, we want to be able to help you. But the idea is that it shouldn't be the only go-to. That there's other resources students should be using, and not to ignore those and just go to the swipes. So wanted to let you know about that. But also, in terms of food resources, remember that on the 12th, coming up next Monday, we have our Free Farmers Market, where we distribute usually about 2 to 4 tons of free fresh produce to the students that come through line. That's going to take place over at Crossroads in the parking lot from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. We are still looking for volunteers to help with the 10:30 to 1:30 shift, so if anybody's free to help out, that would be great. Volunteers, by the way, get the first pick of the food. So you get it there first and pick it up, and we'll set it aside while you're volunteering. So if we run out at 3:30, you already have your food. We do have the student ambassadors helping us with the cleanup shift, so if there's any leftovers, they can take it down to the other pantries in the area, Maverick Food Pantry and the like. But know that that's available and coming up as well. Let's see. And then those are really what I wanted to talk about, the primary reason, but while I have your attention, just wanted to also remind you that I understand there's an election coming up in November 8th. Anybody heard about it? You will soon if you haven't. This year, because we have, in student activities, we are short one professional staff person, so Vice President Jones had asked Jeremy Reisenberger to cover what I normally do in trying to help coordinate getting get out the vote and voter education, voter information out there, voter registration and the like. And that way he can kind of take over more of what I would normally be doing to help us make sure that we're meeting the state mandate. But as you know, voting isn't just something that is about me saying go do it. It's more effective if we have students involved to hear their peers and understand the value of being civically engaged. And that's why I'm also asking you to give some consideration about helping out with the initiatives Jeremy's taking under. So if you're interested, contact Jeremy in the New Student and Family Programs office to get more information, or I can pass his information on to you, your name onto him. So any questions about what I've spoken about?
I will first acknowledge Senator Douglas Roberts.
I wanted to ask you about, I know that you said Swipe Out Hunger has been used a lot. In terms of the campus kitchen, are we seeing the same level of usage, or are we seeing it pretty small?
No. No, as a matter of fact, I can tell you that the same food I put in on Tuesday is still there. So if you're hungry for steak, if you like potato salad, you can go over there and pick up what you need. We're a little short on bread right now because I'm not sure. I think we are just short on it right now. There isn't as much for donations coming in. So, but we're still having plenty of food that's coming in. So if you need it, I hate to see us throw things away. So please go on over and get it.
Amazing. Thank you very much. Do you have something, President Zellmer?
Yes.
Hey.
So how many swipes does Sodexo donate to us?
Off the top of my head, you can do the calculations.
Yep.
The 142, those students so far have received 5 swipes. And we have about roughly 800 more swipes that we can give away. Or not swipes, enough for 800 people. So multiply that. So I want to say about 4,500, something like that.
Okay.
Mhm.
And, sorry, follow
Go for it.
up. And does that, so that's written in our contract, are those
I don't think that's written in our contract,
with
is it?
them?
No, I think this is something separate.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Sorry.
This is a straight out donation because Sodexo, Jamie, really believes that he should be supporting, that Sodexo should be supporting food insecurity. And so that's why he signed up for this pilot program.
Mhm.
So I don't believe that, I don't know, maybe Mark can confirm this if this is correct or not, if it's part of the contract, but I was thinking it was separate from that. So if Mark, if you could ask Mark.
Yeah. Zellmer yields to Mark Constantine.
I cannot confirm or deny. I don't have a good answer on that.
Okay, that's
Anyways,
fine.
we'll look into
Alright.
it together.
Sure.
Thank
I can give
you.
an answer for next week, though.
All right.
Sure. Typically at other schools, it's a matter of the students donate swipes to each other. So they donate a swipe to a pool, and that pool is what we draw from for donating out. So Sodexo is going above and beyond to make that happen so that you're not giving up your swipes for your own meals.
Thank you very much. I'm going to pass it over to Senator Nurala, then Justin McCock.
Thank you. Thank you very much for taking this time and speaking to us. My question to you was, you talked about swipes giving out to people, but what would happen if those swipes provided to students are not used? Are they being returned back and then circulated to another students, or how does that work?
No, it's really once, if you've applied for a swipes, and we're on good faith that you need it, it's an emergency, we'll award them to you, but we're not going to take them back from you. So the idea is that you use them before the end of the academic year. It's all written in the notice that goes out to students when they receive swipes. So it indicates that you need to use them. This is the only place you can use them, in the cafeteria. This is where you can go on the MAB app, MAB Life app, to find out if you still have swipes, if they've been awarded to you. This is where you can go after this point if you still haven't found your swipes. Let's see. And then that's about this much information. And then about this much information with all the places in Mankato you can go to find free or reduced cost food. And this is, like I say, this is really, we're so very lucky to be in Mankato. Mankato really is a great community for making sure that resources are available for the people in our community. So first of all, we have the ones here on campus, but there's a lot out there in Mankato as well. And so we actually, if you go to the Facebook page for Campus Kitchen, you'll find a map that shows you all the places you can go for free or reduced cost food in the area if you need it.
Thank you very much. Senator Dustin?
Oh yeah, I was going to ask 2 questions. So first of all, can you tell everyone how the application process is to apply for the swipes? And then how do you determine the emergency eligibility?
Okay, first of all, the application is just a few questions. It's your name, your MSU email address, your STAR ID, and if your phone number. Because sometimes when students put in their other information, they don't put in a real email address, or sometimes they forget to put in the correct STAR ID, or they put in a tech ID instead of a STAR ID. So we need some other ways to reach them if we can't reach them through email. And then, just for reference to know how many people are on campus and off campus kind of thing. When it comes to determining if it's an emergency or not, the first time we don't do anything. I mean, we just give it on the expectation that you need it, you're asking for it, we'll give it to you. But at that point, if they've gotten swipes and they've gotten a list of all of these resources and they still feel like there's a need for more, I ask if I can meet with them. And that is because if there's something bigger going on, we need to know about it so that we can help them in other ways. That doesn't mean they won't get swipes. It means I need to hear what's going on. If there is, for example, the reason that they need food is because they have children and they need to be able to feed those children, maybe being in the cafeteria isn't going to be the best way to feed the children. Maybe they need to get other resources at other places in town. So finding out what's really going on and trying to connect them with those resources, that's really what it's about. Great question. Did I get everything answered?
Oh, yeah. That was great.
Thank you very much. Senator Hawk?
Hi. So I just wanted you, if you could let everyone know the timings of the campus kitchen.
Oh,
And
sure.
the food pantry so that everybody would know what times they can have the foods available.
Absolutely. So the campus kitchen is located at 331 Dillon Avenue. It's right behind the Performing Arts Building and right across the street from Trafton. The building itself is open from 8 in the morning till 9 at night, Monday through Friday. And that's when you'd be able to have access to the campus kitchen little fridge or to the bread cart. So that really, it's pretty much all day, Monday through Friday.
Amazing. Thank you very much. Senator Dermenji?
Yeah, I just have a quick question. So at this point, the swipes, are they being given only to new applicants or to everybody?
Anybody who applies, but realize that right now we're at about roughly 150 that have been distributed, and we have about 800 people that we can meet the need for. So at this rate, it'll be October, November before we run out. So I'm asking people to make sure that they understand that the goal here is emergency food resources. So that's not to say we can't go out and buy them, but I would just want to make sure that people understand that this is really about emergency need and getting that tie over until you can get to some place where there's food.
Thank you very much. Senator Mendez Martinez?
So I'm like, as what you're saying is like, it's for emergencies only. But it's like...
I'm sorry, could you speak up a little? I'm sorry.
You're fine. So you said it's for emergency only, correct?
Right.
But like, what if these people don't have a way for transportation to get to like the other resources, Like in the wintertime, we have winters that get below zero, like how are they supposed to get there if it's an emergency?
Sure. Okay, again, we have 2 food pantries right here on campus. You can go to both of them at the same time, once a week for each. So that's like going grocery shopping twice a week. So in terms of being able to need a vehicle, if you can get a vehicle to campus, you can probably get a vehicle to those resources. It's like I say, it's right across the street. So those 2 are available. The Free Farmers Market is in the same locations that we're talking about, or in the spring it's over at the, we typically have it on the mall, so it's not like you can drive a car up to the mall, but you could, park there and walk over. So relatively close. Now, I will admit, the whole notion of trying to easily take the bus to Echo is not easy. About 2 years ago, something like that, set something up with the bus system so that on Fridays there's a special shift that's advertised on the website that if students need to go to Echo in order to pick up food, it's set aside that the bus, I don't remember which number bus, you'd have to look on the website, but the idea is that the bus will actually stop at Echo instead of the regular bus stop during the 1 o'clock run. So that way, what you would do is you would go on the Echo Food Shelf website, you'd go ahead and order your food, and again, Echo is an emergency food resource, so you can get 12 visits over the course of a year. So during those 12 months, if you could go once a month, or you could go once every week if you needed to, but you can't go more than 12 times a year kind of thing. So again, Echo for emergency food resource. But the idea is that you would be able to go there and they'd pick you up. You'd order online, it could be ready at 1 o'clock for you to pick up. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Okay. I think personally that like three food banks is pretty big compared to a lot of other places. We have it really good. We have it very good. And being able to take advantage of those three resources right here, two right within walking distance, I think is very commendable compared to a lot of other campuses that don't even have anything. So.
Thank you very much. Senator Dustin, did you want to speak again?
Yeah. Can you please clarify, is it 5 swabs like in total or per week?
I'm sorry, what was the last part of your question?
How many swabs do you have if you apply for that?
Right now, we are giving 5 swipes if you are, once you apply, we give you 5 swipes as your first for your first swipe award.
And that's the total.
That's the total rate. Mm-hmm. So, as the emergency coverage. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Did I see something from Senator Hawk or no?
Yes, I had a question. Thank you. So the question is, normally, like we see, like whenever people want to go to the pantry, do they have, like I noticed, is parking available for people who live off campus to just go? Or is that something, they have to park in lot 20 or something, then come all the way down and then carry all the food and then go down there?
Okay, it'd be very similar to if you were coming to class to campus. So if you're coming to class to campus and you take like the bus route that goes through and brings you back there, it'd be the same thing. So.
There is not like a specific parking allocated for food pantries?
I couldn't speak to you about Maverick Food Pantry. That's the one that you all support financially. Campus Kitchen, Campus Covered is all private donations. It's not paid for by your student fees.
Okay.
So I couldn't answer about that, but I can tell you that there are some students that do park over at Campus Covered when they pick up. And usually when it comes to Campus Kitchen, people just walk in, take what they need, and either from the Campus Kitchen little fridge or the bread cart, and either eat it there or use the microwave there and heat it up, or just go take the food and go back across the street and eat. So.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
As we've already used up a fair bit of our lovely guest Karen Anderson's time, I'll ask if there are any final questions. Any final questions? All right, seeing none, thank you very much for joining us and answering our questions. Very nice, thank you. Moving on to open forum. Do we have anyone here for open forum? I see Scott Nelson.
Good afternoon, everyone. Scott Nelson from Athletics. Good to see you all again this week. Just wanted a couple things to throw across your radar. First thing, last weekend, our women's soccer team went out to Grand Valley, Michigan, and beat the defending national champion, the #1 team in the nation, 1-0. So, great weekend for women's soccer. Bus trip out to Michigan and a happy bus ride home. That 12 hours on Sunday night. Football had a great win up at Bemidji. Football's home this weekend at 6 o'clock here in Blakesley Stadium. And then soccer's at home this weekend, Friday at 3 and Sunday at 1. Tailgating opens at 6 for everybody in lot 20. And as just a reminder, all students are free to all games with their MAV card. And then on Wednesday, all students have an opportunity to buy discount tickets for the concert that's coming to campus next weekend in the CSU and UDC. And there'll be an all-student email going out on that on Tuesday. So just a quick little update about athletics. Just wanted to thank you again for coming out on Saturday night. I know you guys are going to hand out t-shirts. Looking forward to working with you there. And we'll see you at the games. Yes.
Is someone willing to yield to John? All right. President Zellmer yields to John.
Just a quick question on, you said the tailgating lots open at 6. That's game time.
Game time at 6. Tailgating lots open at 3. 3 hours prior.
Ooh, very nice.
Go get your tailgate on.
All right.
Awesome. Any other questions?
Yes. Does anyone else have any questions?
I got a daycare run. You guys have a great day.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us. Do we have anyone else for open forum? Yes, I see a hand over there. I can't quite see you. I'm sorry.
Hey everyone, I'm Evan Haltman from the esports team on campus here. If any of you aren't familiar with esports, it's sports but video gaming. It's grown pretty big over the last couple of years. We do have an event that we want to put on everybody's plate. It's going to be the collegiate Esports Invitational, sponsored by Rockstar Energy. That's going to be on September 17th in the Mankato Civic Center. It's open to everybody. The tickets are $10. It's going to be running from 10 a.m. to around 8 p.m. We are, like as it's named, we have a presenting sponsor of Rockstar Energy through Gillette Pepsi, and then Version 1 and Rocker are helping us out with it as well. We have a couple of celebrity esports players coming in Chell and Garrett G, if anybody's a Rocket League fan here. A couple of things that we just wanted to put out, like this is going to be a huge event. We want to spread awareness for it because it really opens up a campus community that we've been pushing really hard. We've seen a lot more engagement this year through students coming in and in our learning community, the esports and gaming learning community. So pushing this event would really give us a little bit more campus presence. Another thing that we kind of wanted to talk about is why people would attend. Pretty much it's supporting our Mavericks. We're going to have teams from all over the Midwest coming there, so supporting not only a growing community, but also our Mavericks here, just as you would with any other sporting event, soccer, baseball, stuff like that. These kids are basically putting their heart out. They're excited to perform on a stage in front of everybody. So again, September 17th, Mankato Civic Center, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Tickets are $10. Online, esportsmnsu.edu.
Amazing. Thank you very much. Do we have any other questions? Any questions? Seeing none, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, do we have anyone else for open forum? Yes, I see Bill Torval.
Hi, everybody. Thanks. My name is Bill Torval. I work in student activities, and I work with the student events team in Homecoming. I'm here today to let you know that Homecoming is less than 2 weeks away. I know that seems a little nuts, and it is nuts in that, yeah, we have some schedules here for you. It's about 2 weeks earlier than normal. And so with that, well, it's one of the things I want to bring to you guys' attention is that if anybody around the table is part of student groups who normally compete during Homecoming, or someone's thinking about running for royalty for Homecoming, those deadlines are fast approaching. The royalty deadline is Sunday, and the competition team applications are due next week. So really wanted to bring that to the attention of this group so that those groups who do like to participate every year and want to really compete to do that. But also, I encourage you as you and senators and your colleagues to attend some of the things that are going that week, whether it's the Homecoming concert, bonfire, the parade, any of the dodgeball tournament, all those things, eating contests. And also, if you want to show your Maverick spirit, the Homecoming t-shirts are now on sale at mnsuevents.com. You can order those online. They are $10, but I will give you the scoop on something. If you use the promo code Hollywood, it's Mavericks Go to Hollywood this year for the theme, you can get $2 off through next Wednesday. So mnsuevents.com to get that t-shirt. But just really, again, I want to encourage folks here who are part of other organizations that participate in Homecoming, reminder that the registration deadline is a little earlier than normal because we are earlier than normal, if that makes sense. So that's our big message right now, because once the week comes, everybody will come out and have a great time. So just wanted to send a reminder of that. If there's any questions, I'm here to help.
Yes, any questions? Any questions? All right. Thank you very much for joining us. Yes, go right ahead.
Hi everyone, my name is Anthony Yenser. I'm here from Student Health Services. So I'm just introducing myself as a Student Health Services for Student Government. I'm also an advisor for our Student Health Advisory Committee. And so what they typically do is they will present the budget to student government when the time comes, that great budget season. Typically, our director of Student Health Services is the person that comes to these meetings almost every week. Right now, we're in the very beginning search of a new director. So in the interim, I'll be here as the representative. A couple of things, we usually have a lot of questions that come up about student health insurance, or international student health insurance. We do have an insurance coordinator on our staff that has in the past come and talked to student government if they've ever had like questions or done a presentation. So that's an option as well if there's ever any concerns or questions from students about international student insurance. And then I also have brought Jody Eglin, our medical director, here as well, and she'll introduce herself as well, just to kind of fill in that gap of the director search that's happening, and we want to show that we're still here and still involved in student government. So any questions I'll take.
Do we have any questions? Any questions? And seeing none, thank you very much for joining us. I take it, Jody, you may want to go next.
Thank you. I'm Jody Eglund. I'm the medical director at the Student Health Services Clinic on campus, and I'm handing around a business card. So if any of you do have questions that you think of after tonight, certainly feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to answer those, especially like Antonia said, insurance questions for international students. We do have a specific person I can refer you to. I've had the pleasure of meeting almost half of our new international students that came to campus this fall. And so I've been seeing them every Friday because we do a TB tuberculosis screening for them and see if they need any immunizations or have any health concerns. So that's been a pleasure.
Amazing. Thank you very much. Do we have any questions? Any questions? Awesome. Thank you for joining us. And do we have anyone else for open forum today? Anyone else for open forum? All right, seeing none, we'll go ahead and move right along to our consent agenda. All right, I recognize President Zellmer.
I am going to move, to move new business above vacancies. Reason being, one of the candidates for College of Humanities and Social Sciences reached out. They are unable to make it today until 5. Since they reached out and, and going forward, they're able to make it on time. But I wanted to be able to give them an opportunity to run for that position tonight so we can start filling our seats.
Amazing. Do we have a second for that motion? Second. Seconded by Senator Roberts. Is there, I suppose on this type of motion, we just jump straight into discussion, right?
Just go for dissent.
I guess I'll just ask for dissent. Does anyone dissent to the motion to move new business right before vacancies? Any dissent? All right, seeing no dissent, I will assume unanimous consent, and the motion passes. Sorry. I know it's loud. All right, do we have any other objections to the approval of consent agenda? All right, then I will ask if there's any dissent to the approval of consent agenda. Any dissent? Seeing no dissent, I will assume unanimous consent, and the consent agenda is passed. Do that one softer. All right, then we will move along to officer reports. I will pass it over to President Zellmer.
Yeah, so Vice President isn't here today. She is on a diversity panel on behalf of student government. So she's out, I don't know where it is, but we hope she's doing well. And, she's representing us, so that's why she's not here. I have a bit of a, report, so bear with me. First, I know I asked for search committee interest in the form. There are currently 2 search committees. I need 1 student for each. The College of Business Dean we need a student for. I will give priority to our College of Business senators if you all want to serve on that. For search committees, it's typically there's going to be a couple weeks where it's a bit more work, like interview week. You're kind of out for a couple days. You have to attend those, so you need to really think about what you have the capacity for, as well as you need to have time to review those resumes. These people that we're hiring can have a very large impact on our students' lives, on the future of our university. I've served on search committees myself, and I like to think those are the most important committees you can serve on, especially the ones that it's most important you pay attention to, show up to, and really advocate for students. If you have a bad gut feeling about someone, make sure you share it, because this person is going to be working on behalf of our students. Next is the Student Health Services Director search. I'll open that first up to allied health and nursing students, since it's student health, so I figured it'd help you all out in the future. Or else it's open to anyone. If you're interested, please come let me know. I will let you all know by Friday who will be on it, but we need to make sure we fill those because these are very important committees. Next, I got a request from Gamma Phi Beta, the sorority. They want to do a potluck or pizza party meet and greet with us. They also suggested sand volleyball. I'm not much of a volleyball girl, but maybe we can see if we can talk with Campus Rec and maybe get some beanbag or spike ball, have a little social with them. I think it's important that when student groups reach out to us. So September 16th, the Friday, there wasn't a time involved, But can I just get like thumbs up if y'all will be on board to join that? Yes, I see adequate thumbs up. So I'll reach out to them, see what we can plan. Next, I have my Students United meeting this Sunday. If this resolution passes, I'll be bringing that to them. Also, let me know if there's anything else. And students, well, anyone is welcome to be a part of Open Forum. That meeting starts at 10 a.m. on Sunday. Let me know and I can give you the Zoom link. Reminder about the Friday football game. I'll be sending out an email tonight about making sure that the people who signed up come at 4, right, John? To set up t-shirts. And Saturday, yep, not Friday. Oh, yikes. So yeah, Saturday football game at 4. We'll set that up. And we even have an hour of tailgating before that. So make sure you go tailgate beforehand, tailgate responsibly since we will be sending out t-shirts afterwards. I also want to thank everyone who came to Pizza with the President, especially those who helped set up and break down. That, I think, had a great turnout. I really want to give a shout out to Sam Steiger for doing majority, if not all, of the organizing for that, as well as like the fun little selfie stations. Also, no one stole President Inch's selfie station like he was concerned about, so we can maybe take that later on. Next, I have an opportunity for some of us. So Minnesota State University Mankato is participating in the National College Fair up in Minneapolis on Wednesday, October 5th, Thursday, October 6th. There's 2 shifts on Wednesday. I'm looking for like maybe 1, 2, 3 top people if you want to join for these shifts. Talk to incoming students, talk to students who are looking at different universities about why Mankato's great, why you chose to come here, why you stay here, or transferred in here. So you can go talk to that. The first shift is 9 a.m. to noon, and there is a shuttle leaving. So the 9 a.m. shift, the shuttle leaves at 6:30, comes back at 2. Second shift is 5 to 8 p.m. That shuttle leaves at 2:30, comes back at 10. I'll talk with Speaker Novak about if you do that second shift, if you are okay to leave the meeting. Hopefully find a proxy, and then Thursday, it's just a 9 to noon shift, 6:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. If you want to be a face for the university and like meet with all these new students, make sure you let me know so I can get our names on those. Next, we had meet and confer with the President's Cabinet. That went well. President Inch talked about Inauguration Week, reminding us all to go Friday at 3. I'm also looking for some volunteers for that as well. If you want to be a volunteer for the inauguration ceremony, 10 a.m. for setup, 2 p.m. for greeters, and 2 p.m. for ushers who will walk like the distinguished guests down the aisle. I don't really know. We're all just kind of showing up. But if you want to volunteer, you could also maybe, like, if you need volunteer hours for any class, you could see if these count as well, or any scholarship or anything. I had a meeting with Bruce, who's the president of Neurodiversity Activists. Learned a lot more about that, and we're hoping to be able to partner to raise some more awareness and representation, as well as, make sure our different departments on campus are aware of how to support people who are a member of the neurodiversity community. Me and Edie also had a meeting with the Faculty Association president and VP, talked about some different things. They wanted us to talk to our constituents about not cheating and not using CHEG because they said they know. So make sure you tell people that. You can't get kicked out of the university for cheating, so there's that reminder. We also met with the director of admissions, Brian, just some more gathering of information about different things that might hinder students from being able to apply and get acceptance here well, especially like first-year students, transfer students. So we just kind of gathered some more information, and we're trying to see what we can do to support. But the big thing is, if you want to be a tour guide, you can join student ambassadors and be able to talk about that, or see if there's ever any openings in the admissions office to be a tour guide with me. And then interested in volunteering, got that. There's still a couple people I need to meet with. So if you have not met with me yet, please come see me after. We can set up a meeting real quick at a different time. Homecoming parade was mentioned. We have been invited to be a part of like the president's section of the parade. He's going to be riding in a car with Belen, his partner. In the past, I'm going to try to see if we can carry those giant balloons again. We did that one year, and that was kind of fun. So we would all get to like wave, hand out candy. So like make sure you let me know if you're able to or interested in attending the parade. I'll be there for sure. And yes, I believe that's all I have. I also just met with Rick Straka, the Vice President of Finance and Facilities. Not sure of his actual title, but I met with him about this resolution we have coming up, as well as just making sure that we will be in good shape for budget season. And he will be coming in later on to start doing some budget meetings with us, just to make sure that we have a better understanding of how the budget works, not only the budget we oversee, but also at the overall university, so when we're working on projects, we can have a little bit of a better like idea of what we might be walking into, or what would be like completely out of left field that they wouldn't be able to accomplish with the money we have. Whereas, you know, understanding the financials can help us better advocate and like find our way around our projects. So that's all I have. I'm open for questions. Sorry.
No, you're all good. Do we have any questions for President Zelmer? Any questions at all? A question can include, when do you sleep and why do you girl boss so hard? But
I'll sleep when I'm dead.
But seeing no questions, I'll go ahead and move on. As previously mentioned, Vice President Ibrahim is out today. Emma said the real reason, which is that she's attending a diversity, equity, and inclusion conference, which means that I unfortunately don't get to say the fake reason that Edie told me to tell you guys, which is that she is pregnant, which was totally real and was going into labor.
She's not.
She's not.
Continue.
But that was the fake reason she told me. For my update, office hours are due this week. That's Friday here. We will have a form open on Presence that you guys can submit that through. If people are unfamiliar on how submitting the form via Presence works, what you do is you can literally just Google Presence Mankato, or you can go through the MNSU website to find Presence. And then once you are on Presence, go to Organizations, Student Government, and then under Forms you will be able to find the Senator Office Hours Submission Form. Please fill that out to the best of your ability with as much accuracy as possible. That can include the first week of school as well as these last 2 weeks, and then those office hours are due Friday. As long as they total 6 hours, you are completely all right. If for whatever reason you can't get Presence to work, I will totally accept if you send me an email saying what you've done. Additionally, I also have down that we are going to the Twin Cities tomorrow for another Students United event. So we will be gone tomorrow for the better half of the evening. So if you need to reach us, feel free to shoot us an email. But we're going to be going and having a blast in the Twin Cities with Students United. And then hopefully I see a bunch of you guys at the President's inauguration on Friday. And that is all for my update. Do we have any questions for me? Any questions at all? Yeah, go ahead.
The inauguration, 3 p.m. on Friday in Breslin Arena in the Taylor Center. Make sure you all show up and you all are there. I have to sit on stage so you can like make sure I don't yawn or anything, make a like face at me, but make sure you show up. It is a big thing, so it'd be nice to have some students in the room.
All right, thank you very much. With that, is someone willing to yield to Sam Steiger? Senator Roberts yields to Sam Steiger.
Light appetizers will be served in the Hall of Champions following the inauguration, because we all know that food helps drive attendance.
Thank you very much.
There's no free t-shirts though.
That's so sad. But the free food is enough for me. I will then move along if there's no further questions for me. All right, seeing no further questions, I'm going to move along to Senator reports with Senator Bassinet. Go ahead whenever you're ready.
Hello everyone, I am Namita Bassinet all the way from Kathmandu, Nepal, and I'm also serving as a senator of Allied Health and Nursing for now. for around 2 years now. And today I will be talking briefly about what I will be gonna do for this semester. So it's very controversial and sensitive topic, but my project this semester, for maybe this year, is to remove the requirement of international health insurance for international students. So what is health insurance? So before doing this presentation, I do research on what is health insurance. Of course, I know the importance of health insurance. Health insurance is a secure process to get whenever you have the huge incident or even the small one, and then it can cover up whatever you have got the coverage for as a health insurance. So if it is so important, then why I or the senators who have joined for me with this team and other people want to remove this requirement, the compulsory of this health insurance? So before heading to the topic, I want to also tell you what I've done so far, because this is also about my senator report. So I've just completed my freshman year, still new, still very new. I think last week I've completed my 1 year here in US, so very new. And then, so after completing my high school, I came here, I think during my first year, I started working on a project of a free feminine hygiene product all over the university restrooms, and with the support of all of us, of course. And then, of course, I have to mention the board director of Women's Center, Liz Stengarley. She is amazing. So we've completed that, and then we've got a successful result. There is now, we have added 2 more machines in front of the Women's Center for the females to not only in the bathrooms. Now it is all free. For the second semester, I worked on a project to compensate for the Senate. And I cannot believe that when I started, I kid you not, nobody believed in me, except some senators. I have to hands up to them. Thank you so much for Senator Robert, all the senators, Senator Nowak sorry, I'm so sorry right now, Speaker Nowak. So during my second semester the plan was successful, and then now every senator here will be paid at least the least amount, but it is a starting point, so I can say we've got successful. Now, when I was actually, let me tell you about this. So after second semester, we got this election, and then I can't believe that. I thought that nobody would probably knew about me, but people really voted for me, and then I was one of the most voted candidates independently. So I had to work according to their choice. I have to be the voice for them. So this semester I will. That's why I want to work removing this.
Excuse me. Can I have your laptop in?
Yeah.
Senator Bassnett, may I also make a request to, if possible, attempt to make the senator report very concise? Though I will say I absolutely love the addition of the slideshow.
Yeah, I believe that I am the only one today for the senator report.
Yes.
And this is definitely a serious, topic. So I think we should talk about it. I do understand the time frame but this is not just for the international student, but this is also for the transfer student. This is the concern of transfer student, not only for international student. So I think that for that reason, maybe you can extend maybe 5 minutes more.
acknowledge that. However, I want to be fair to all senators who will be given the same amount of time for their senator reports. If somebody would like to motion to extend your time for an additional 5 minutes, they absolutely can. I'm not cutting you off right now. I'm just making the request for you to be more concise. I also see a motion from Senator Dustin.
Motion to extend by 5 minutes.
Amazing. Thank you.
So much. Thank you so much. So,
sorry. Do we have a second on that motion?
Second.
Cool. Any dissent? Seeing no dissent, assume unanimous consent. Go for it. 5 minutes.
okay, I can go on the next page, I guess. So, why it is important to have the health insurance? So the major goal of international students being here, at least for 3 to 4 years, is to get the education, is to get the degree, whatever they have, they want to accomplish for, and then they will go back to their country after. Please don't, students. After the accomplishment of whatever degree they want to get here. For me, I'm doing nursing, and after 4 years of the completion of my degree, I will go back to serve my own country, and that is what the average purpose of international student being here. So why we are focusing on health insurance? I believe that the most of the country, the most of the government of countries, they already have this health insurance policy back in their home country too, and they already have the health insurance back in the home country. Still, I'm not saying that we should not require the health insurance. I'm saying that the amount for international health insurance here is half of the tuition fee. That is unbelievable, and then increased. This year we've got increased, and it is half of the tuition fee of a semester. That is around $2,500. And students, I've seen that maybe in the another report, since I don't have much of the time, I will show some video about this too and do the interview too. Students, international students are working 3 jobs here, working 3 jobs. They don't know anyone. They have packed the suitcase, one ticket in the hand, and come here to accomplish their degree. And they will go back. And they are not even having proper food. They are sleeping on the floor with a mattress, with one mattress in this super cold. So I totally understand what we are opting for here as making this policy, but I want at least the option to the people, to international people who are going to this economic hardship. We don't even have an exception. And another most important thing is we are playing with international students. We are playing with international students. Why? Because the courses that will be available for fall, they have tried to register, and if because of the economic hardship, they could not be able to pay the health insurance, then their courses will get unregistered, and those same courses will not be available for the, let's say, for spring semester, and now they have to wait for a whole year. For the students like me, a nursing major, you have to go for the School of Nursing first. And before that, you'll be just pre-nursing major. You cannot do any of the major courses. So that will extend your time. That is what we are playing for. We are playing the international time. Time is the most valuable thing. We are playing the international people's life. When we are advertising that, I was the one who advertised being an international student to the international people that this is the best university. I have advertised that. Before this semester, while I was doing the leadership, I have got 4 GPA in every other semester. I've got A+ in every other things. I was doing amazing, I guess, at least in the extracurricular things. And then one of my friends was also doing the same thing. And then she got unregistered in every single classes. And now she is 1 year back just because she could not pay the student health insurance. This is really, are we playing the future of the international students? The transfer students who have transferred from another university to here, we got an example as a senator too. He has to now pay the health insurance which he had got for 1 year back there, whatever university he was attending on, and now he also have to pay the health insurance for this university. since our university does not approve the health insurance that a previous university has approved for, and that is outside. That is from the United States company, that is approved by the U.S. government. So this is one of the very serious topic, and the international officers, you guys cannot believe that. International officers told us that the splitting fare only for this year, to do the 2 split fare, and then from next year it will not be possible. I'm getting in contact regularly during the summer period. I got emails, texts from the international people that you are what we have voted on. You are what we have believed on. You have not given a sound. Why they have increased the health insurance? We are only here for the health education. Why they are doing this unregistered thing when we have planned that for 1 month, thinking about the schedule with 3 jobs and everything. So I hope that our universal relations, I do understand that, and also I cannot get on everything, but there are universities and colleges inside the Minnesota state who does not require to purchase the international health insurance from their partner third-party insurance company, like we do for United Health, United Healthcare. Why we are following that 7 universities, whatever they are following in, why we are going on the same path? Are we not stand for the diversity, inclusivity? Are we not supporting of the international students? Why we are globally recognized university then? If we cannot even support the idea, if we cannot even support the exception, we are human, things happen, and we have not even given the exception. Even when they emailed to the meetings, even at the time, the officers have not given the exception, and then they have to pay the fee, otherwise they will get deported. When they thought, maybe 1 year back, that this university will give me the future. I hope that we recognize that. Thank you so much. I stand for a question.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm going to yield to Senator Roberts for a question.
My question for you is, I know that you're trying to talk about removing the international health insurance in terms of requirement.
Yes.
But would you say that health insurance of some degree should be a requirement at some level, not necessarily mandated for the university, but some health insurance should be there to fall upon?
So what I believe is health insurance is important. When you have gone through your life, that is the most important thing. Health insurance is totally important. When I describe from the initial phase, I say that health insurance is important, and for the requirement purpose, if our university have maybe decreased, maybe made it affordable, then it is the best thing. It is the best thing our university could do for transfer students as well as for the international students. Yes.
All right. Thank you very much. I'm going to pass it to Senator Nirala. Is this a follow-up?
I'll let it go that way and then come back to me.
Okay.
Seconding what you said, and stressing over the fact that the international student health insurance cost has been rising over the years. As an international student myself, I believe that this is something that we need to look upon, and then something that we need to address. Eliminating international health insurance entirely would not be a way to go for it, but we can look into creative ways into developing new ideas that would not put stress upon students, that would not strip them from their ability to register for new classes, that would help them in their graduation process and everything. Going to my question, you mentioned about colleges in the Minnesota state system that allow third-party insurance. Is that correct?
Minnesota state system, meaning 7 universities you are talking? Yes.
Could you name the colleges that do that and the source of your reference of your sources?
So 7 universities you're saying?
The colleges that specifically allow third-party insurance in the Minnesota
I think
state system.
I can definitely direct this to the president, because she has been the president of Student United for the 7 universities. Definitely she can name the 7 universities for you.
So this is a system-wide policy. All Minnesota, and Dr. Jones, correct me if I'm wrong, but all Minnesota state colleges and universities require this insurance for all of their international students.
So then, are there any colleges that would provide a third-party
Not
insurance?
in the
Yeah.
Minnesota state system.
Yeah, that's what my question
Yep.
was. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to go to Senator Dustin.
Mine is more of a comment than a question, and I just wanted to say thank you to Senator Bafney for her resilience, because I know we all been talking about the issue of international student health insurance for a very long time, and even myself, I have a project on this, even though we don't have the same perspective on the issue, but I think ultimately the issue of international student health insurance is becoming like a concern for international students. So the fact that we are having a lot of different international students coming up with the same story but in different ways, I think it should signal a red flag at least to all of us. You don't have to be an international student, but to all of us in Senate, that this is an issue that requires our attention, because we have people coming up every time talking about this issue. So just to give a little bit of context, President Emma and I, we have met with the cabinet, and I think the issue of the split policy is going to be effective for just 1 year, and then after that, it's going to return to like the one-time payment policy, which is something that even though we have not exhausted that time yet, but I think students are becoming a little bit more worried again, because 1 year is just within a twinkle of an eye. We're going to be done with that. So I have a resolution already drafted, and this resolution is focusing on the issue of international student health insurance, not to eliminate the policy, but first of all, the resolution is calling on maintaining that split policy, and also there's a clause in that resolution that calls for the university to have like an optional insurance policy that would give students the opportunity not just to be restricted to taking the insurance from the school, but also to bring whatever insurance they think they can afford, their families can afford. So I have this resolution in place. Every senator who is passionate about pursuing this project, I welcome you to join me, and we can advocate for this. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Senator Dustin. I'm going to pass it to Senator Hawk, then Roberts, then Dervenji. And if anyone else wants to get on the speakers list, please pop up now so that I can add you on. Otherwise, I'm probably going to limit it there.
I have a few comments here to make. First of all, health insurance is a mandatory thing for all the international students according to the immigration policies that we sign up for as soon as we pay for the service fees that we have. Secondly, as far as I have heard from the previous senators who were here, this was a project done in the past as well. The health insurance, they had brought it up for the third or different type of health insurance to be brought into the system as well. But this has to be agreed upon by all the 7 universities, and then can it only be done. The reason that in the past that is not being able to be done is because all the 7 universities has not agreed upon it, and this was some of the best health insurance that was said to have been there. I understand the rising health insurance cost is a concern, but whenever this question was brought up in the past with the coordinators of the United Health Insurance companies, was that there are sometimes some people who agree, like there are reports of incidents, might not everybody has it, no names taken or anybody in specific. We have had students in this university who had brain surgeries as well as severe concussions on their brains, having liquids drained out, people with accidents leading to nearly their deaths. And that has been covered by the health insurance. It's some of the reasons, even if not everybody uses it, some of the students does use it. I agree upon that if you can negotiate on trying to reduce it would be one thing, but trying to bring in third parties would be something very difficult because it's not something that's easily be able to be done. Correct me if I'm wrong, President Zelmer, or anyone that's here, but these are the information that I knew of, but not something that I'm saying it's impossible, but would be difficult because we have to be working with all 7 universities, and this is something that was brought up in the past, and I kind of heard about it as well. This was something that I was going to work on, but this was something that might be a little difficult to work on, might not be impossible, but having all 7 universities agree upon something like this is going to be difficult.
I've heard that before.
Yes, and but something like removing health insurance, like the first slide that it said, is not possible as an international student because we have to have health insurance because of our immigration status.
I think you got the concept wrong. I didn't say removing the health insurance. I said removing the requirement. Maybe put some exception, I said. Not the, even as I've explained before, I know the importance of health insurance and it covers, but I'm not saying that removing of the health insurance. No, that is not. We are constrained to do that. So I'm saying the removing of the requirement. Yes.
All right, thank you very much. President Zelmer, would you like to offer a point of information since...
I'll just wait till the end.
Okay, very well. Senator Roberts?
So, I'm not sure if I have, to start it off with a comment and then into the question, I'm not sure if I 100% support the idea of removing the requirement. I get it, right? Like, it's a real problem. I'm not saying it isn't. My concern is, say hypothetically, and obviously this can't happen because there's some laws in place that prevent this from happening in the first place, but in a situation where, say, an international student doesn't have health insurance, what happens to those students? What happens to those students when they get into a disastrous situation? Those are going to be some devastating consequences. So do you think that a better solution is this idea to advocate for the system office to open it up for international students to shop around different programs instead of necessarily getting rid of the requirement? Have the mandate there, but have to push the idea of shopping for different insurance policies.
Okay, Senator Douglas, I stopped hearing from what you said what happens when they got Severpain or when they got QCC. What happens when they don't have food to eat? What happens when they don't have bed to sleep in the freaking cold floor? What happens when they don't have clothes to wear in this snowy whole summer, freezing winter? What happens at the time? We got all to figure out that.
I fundamentally agree. I'm not saying I disagree there. I'm just saying my concern is if we don't have insurance at all, and this isn't just an international student problem.
Yeah.
I'm saying this is a universal problem where some students on this campus who are not even international students don't have insurance, and the disastrous effects that also plays out on students. That is a devastating situation. What I'm trying to ask here is, do you think that a better pathway forward, a pathway forward that might be more effective, is to push the system office to allow international students to shop around for different different health insurance plans that may be cheaper and more accessible for international students?
Yes, I definitely think that if our university happens to reduce, for any reason, I don't know, because maybe of this pressure or maybe by understanding the international students' condition, if they happen to reduce the price and make it not cheap, maybe affordable, enough to have the coverage, then I would not even stand here because I know the importance of health insurance. As I have said, some senators have again misunderstood the situation. I'm not planning to remove the health insurance. There will be no option. I'm not planning. Even the U.S. government do not have any the exact kind of health insurance we need to have, but Minnesota State requires to have international health insurance. And what I'm saying is I'm not planning to remove. I am just planning to maybe make an exception for those students who are having the hard issues. I'm planning to maybe make it more affordable, not to remove. And then yes, I feel like if they can find it affordable outside the university, the third-party policy, that we are connected with from the university, if we happen to find out some affordable health insurance policy outside, then I would definitely think that our system, should forward that and then make it possible, I guess.
I am going to allow for President Zelmer to speak, and then our last comment from Senator DiMenci as I closed the speakers list previously, unless people wish to overrule that. But first, I'll let President Zelmer go.
So I wanted to thank you for bringing up this topic as well as all international students. This has been a topic for years. It is, very important that international students have the coverage they need, but also have the access to the coverage they need. Because if they don't, think about when we all of a sudden international students found out a month before that they owed more than double what they thought they were going to owe that next month. That means that they could fall out of their visa status. If they can't pay it, they get out of, are not allowed in school anymore. It means they're undocumented in America, which we all know how scary that is. Well, we don't know, but the people who have experience, I suggest everyone looks into that. But I want to thank you for bringing this up. So this is a system level policy. It's not just the 7 state universities who need to agree on a policy. It's even if all 37 state colleges and universities agreed on it, the system level signs it. So the system office is in charge of this. While you were speaking, I emailed the state chair of Students United with your name as well as Destin to hopefully have you on the system-wide committee. It wasn't until last year that the system office had a committee of students overseeing this contract. They just kind of signed it themselves and hoped that Students United knew that they were going to do it and we could provide a statement. There is now a committee of not only students but also the other unions need buy-in as well for it. So as one does in a system, there's others on it as well that are able to look into this. The only thing that at least I'm aware of at the university level we can do is the split payment. We cannot lower the cost. We cannot change the program. That is all up in system land, up in the Twin Cities. So that's why I wanted to let you know I already sent that email. I CC'd you both on it. And I don't control those spots, so it's up to her. Take up your beef with them. So it is a system level thing. Split payment is the university. I already signaled to university cabinet at meet and confer on, was that last Thursday, that it is our intention to continue supporting split payments. Even though the email was we'll split it this year, not next year. It might be an uphill battle, but as long as we continue to advocate for students. I also don't want people to be going around being this project is impossible. When I started at student government, a food pantry on campus in an area was not possible. So just because it hasn't happened before doesn't mean it can't happen now. Our job is to speak for students, even if it's not going to happen this year. I also just wanted to make a comment about senator reports. I know I haven't been here for 2 years, but senator reports, it's great to ask questions and give advice. I prefer if we kept the arguments either about resolutions or with them later on. I think it'd be great for us to have a time to sit down and discuss, because international student healthcare is a very complex issue that even an hour, it's taken me 4 years to actually kind of get it. So I feel we can have a great conversation outside of this, bring in some people who can help us better understand our avenues that we can take to support this issue, and maybe think of our own that maybe they didn't mention, but thank you for bringing it up, and also please do not pick arguments over what people are working on. Just because if we pass a resolution, we can discuss it, but even if I disagreed with what the speaker, well, you can't work on anything, but let's say you're a senator, if I disagreed, it is not my job to tell them that they are not allowed to work on it. So please keep in mind that we are respectful of others' projects. Advice is great. Arguments is not effective during this time. We should have those when we can have a full conversation that isn't so Robert's Rules structured later on. But again, thank you all for bringing this up, and I look forward to seeing that resolution brought to the table so we can discuss it, as well as in committee, so you don't pull an Emma and just bring up a resolution the night before. So moving forward, we should have a little bit more of a heads up, but thank you both.
Yes, and thank you very much, Emma. I was personally about to get into the same type of talking about what senator reports are for, but I think that you definitely worded it better than I could. So I'm going to pass it over to Senator Dumenji.
Yeah, just a quick question. First of all, thank you so much, Senator Best, for this presentation. And I think it's for sure a very important topic, especially for us as international students. But my main question is, are you trying to make the insurance not required for international students? Because I think this should be definitely required. Just we should have a choice of, Senator Hawk said that bringing the third party is a very complicated process. Is that correct? But if it's possible to do that, I think that getting the insurance for international students should definitely be required, just if we can have a choice of what do we want to get.
Okay, now this is my third time explaining that. I said that in the initial phase, and then I said 3 times to the 3 different senators. I am not going against health insurance. I think that health insurance, I think so, if students, recap this again, then they would be surprised at how many times I repeated this. Health insurance is important, and I believe that because of the state policy, it is important to have for the international health insurance. What I'm trying to make is exception for the students who cannot afford that. Before affording the tuition fee, before affording the things. And I do know that they have consent, they have did the consent before coming here, but they did not do the consent of increasing the health insurance fee. They did not consent of having the whatever issues they have, because they are humans and then things happen. So when the things happens, we don't have exception. And the other thing is that health insurance is increasing by year. This is my 2nd year, and it has increased, and now it is half of the tuition fee. So again, this is not the removal of the health insurance. I cannot go against the government, U.S. government. I cannot go against the Minnesota government. I have explained, this is 4th time explaining. I hope every other galleries member, as well as the senator and administrator, understand that I'm not going against the health insurance policy. I'm not going against the health insurance policy. I know the importance of health insurance. Yes.
Yeah, that was not my question though. I understand that I understand the idea of exception. So the exception means there will be cases where students are not required to get the health insurance at all, or
for the exception, that is definitely we all need to talk about this. I cannot only just define that. We need the time to talk about this. We have senators and everybody who have joined this team. For example, Senator Douglas, for example, Senator Hawk, other senators are also have joined this, and then we have to go through all of that, for that. But definitely, we will definitely go for the affordability version. Yes.
All right. Thank you very much. With that, I want to acknowledge that we have spent about 30 minutes on this topic and have 45 minutes left of the meeting, and still have a resolution and 2 vacancy elections to get through, which is why I previously limited the speakers list. You guys always have the ability to motion to overrule me and extend the speakers list should you choose to. Is that a motion from Senator Dustin? All right, there's a motion on the table to extend the speakers list. Do I have a second on that motion?
I'll second to extend it for 1 person.
To extend it for 1 person. Do we have any dissent? Seeing no dissent, go right ahead, Senator Dustin.
Yeah, so this is not like to overtake her presentation, but I have a few comments just because I'm working on the same project. The issue of international student health insurance, especially with regards to the college policy, my resolution specifically is not against health insurance policy or for international students to have health insurance. My resolution is nailing down the split payment. Like the president said, we had a meeting. We know it works. The fact that even it takes effect this semester, it shows that it's workable. So it is not something that is going to be constrained by any reason. It should be workable because it worked. So this is a possibility. International students have overwhelmingly supported split payments. Asking them to maintain 1 year payment when they cannot afford, it only puts them into even worse situation. Talking about immigration problem, there is nothing worse than not having a health insurance. The consequences are too many to list. You lose your visa status and all that. So the only way we can solve all this is to have the choice of students, the things they want to be worked on. It is not about like whether or not you see it as possibility or not. It is about looking at the need of students and working on it. And second of all, this semester, students who did not receive the email or who were not able to access their email over the summer when that announcement came, they all got unregistered for their classes that they registered for before going for spring semester, before going for the break. I work with the KIC. I received a lot of inquiries from students about, hey, how did I get my classes on register when I got registered before going for break in my country? So there are a lot of consequences for not having the health insurance that we are not understanding right now. But hopefully my resolution is going to be a good channel through which we can point out all of those different things and help students to get a better idea of why we should support the issue of international students having split payments and also having an option to introduce a different insurance that they think can work best for them. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you very much. This is a big issue that always comes up each year. I highly recommend people talk about this both in committee and reach out to President Zellmer and myself about ways to get involved at a system level to attempt to work on this project, because it's always a project that people are very passionate about and for a very good reason. And we want to be able to support you guys in working on that project. So with that, thank you very much, Senator Bassnett, for giving our first Senator Report of the year. Thank you. All right, moving right along then on our agenda, our next order of business are the vacancy elections. Oh, that's right, we moved new business up. Thank you. I've got it marked down on my agenda and I still missed it. Yeah, so our next order on the agenda is new business, where we will be discussing the resolution to raise the system student activities fee cap.
Do you want me to go up there?
If you want to go up there, you can.
Should I go up there? No. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
okay.
All right, so this resolution, I'm very sorry it was last minute. And I wasn't able to make it to student affairs today because I was in academic affairs, like answering questions and stuff. But so the backstory on this resolution, well, the reason why it's late is because I realized last night that I have the Students United meeting on Sunday, and I would like to be able to bring this to Students United so that they are pushing for it as well as us, kind of get all our bases covered. The backstory on this, for people who were around last year, you all know that in spring semester it's budget season, and about March we have our budget meeting. Student government oversees a few different fees, but this one specifically pertains to the student activities fee cap. So the student activities fees, it funds like any student activity facing program. So think student events team, student government's in it, Maverick Adventures is in it, as well as Campus Rec is kind of their own fee, but there's all different ones like Greek Life. Basically anything in the student involvement office is in the student activities budget, as well as like other things, but they're all like student programming. So programming meaning things that students can engage with and do engage with because we fund them. So what happened is at the system level, we've been talking, so a breakdown of that real quick. We have the Min-State system. They have like a board of trustees of people who were appointed by the governor to oversee all of us, or all these colleges and universities. So we have 30 colleges, that changed, I don't know the new number, and then 7 state universities. We are by far the largest state university. We have more than a quarter of all the students in the state university system, almost a third. And when we evaluate these fees, we have like a large budget meeting, everyone comes into us, SAC presents to us what their proposed budget is, we can kind of edit as we choose. Anything over, and typically there's like a couple increases, like it'll be a couple % increase. A 3% increase in tuition, do not equal that to a 3% increase in student activities fees. Student activities fees is like a couple dollar increase, tuition is a couple hundred, we're talking about just those fees right now. So the system level placed a cap on how high the fee can be for students. So the cap on colleges and universities is about $120-something per semester that students are allowed to have this fee at. This fee has not been re-evaluated in, I believe, over 10 years, so they have not increased the cap. Increasing the cap does not mean that we are increasing fees. I want to make that very clear that if we pass this, we are not increasing fees today on anything. This just allows us, when it comes to budget season, to make incremental changes. In our budget, there's also full-time staff members who in their contract have a percent increase due to inflation, like a 2% increase, whatever it is that we need to account for. Last year we hit the cap. And what that means is that we have a certain amount of reserves, but if we were to cover any increases with reserves, we would be out of reserves this year. And I want you all to think about, is it your job to make the hard decisions, or is it your job to put the hard decisions on the next people? I think it's our job to not push off this decision, kick the can down the road. It's our job to make sure we fix this, so then next year they can focus on they can focus on international student health insurance resolutions instead of these. For this, we are advocating for the system to raise this fee cap. Right now we're at cap, so that means after we use our reserves, there is nowhere we can go up. We cannot increase by a cent, we cannot increase by anything. What that means when there's inflationary raises in different areas, that means we're cutting programming. We might not cut full departments, but we're cutting back budgets, which cuts back the amount of events they can host, how much they can pay their student leaders. Different things like that would have to be reduced because we can't move up. And also, in state statute, if an increase is over 2% or more, it goes to a student-wide referendum. So you'll remember last year there was like a 5-point-something% change. That's the highest I've seen in my time here. Typically we like to stay around that 2%, if not hopefully less, but inflation's higher than 2%, so it's a little hard. But that's kind of the catch-all, is that even if, let's say there's a student government that raises fees, like doubles fees, students can vote it down. So there is that catch-all in there. And also, student governments have control of this. So even if even if Bemidji decided to raise their fees, that does not mean that we need to raise our student fees. It's up to the student government to decide. The university president can technically change it. When I met with Vice President Straka, he only shared one time that he remembers that happened with me. Student government cut a full-time position to half-time. The president increased it back to full-time. So rarely, if ever, will they veto it. We have a very good working relationship with admin. We have since the 70s, if not earlier. So I would be floored, and I think admin would be floored as well if there was like a big veto like that. And even then it goes to a student vote, so there's still things that students can decide. So this resolution, what it's doing is it's saying that we want the system level to raise the cap, which would allow us to continue funding programming at the level we would like to. And what it has me do, it's a little weird because I wrote it, but bear with me. What it has me do is send a letter to the Vice Chancellor of Finance and Facilities at the Minnesota State Office. He's the one that can put it on agendas at the Board of Trustees and other places. He also has a lot of influence. I've worked with him in the past 2 years. He's very student-friendly, very student-focused. We're hoping that this student support will help kind of push this along. Also, I'll be sending a letter to the Board of Trustees since they have ultimate power. And then also, as Students United board member, all the 7 state university student body presidents are the Students United board members. Bring a resolution this weekend. I've already talked with one of my board members about it to second the resolution. Other universities are at the cap. Where are my notes from my meeting with Vice President Straka? There are other universities at the cap or very close to the cap. Right now we're just talking about student activities, but even our other caps, like Student Health Services is at our cap, Tech Fee is almost there, Athletics is almost there. These have not been reevaluated since we were not even eligible to apply for college. So it's definitely time that they reevaluate them. However, this is showing our support to raise the cap. Again, this does not raise fees. But I am open for any questions before we move forward.
Actually, before we move on to questions, I'm going to give the opportunity to Douglas Roberts as the second, if you would like to speak on it, or if you would like to yield.
Yeah, I'll speak just a little bit. Emma's pretty much covered the gist of it, but I just really want to reiterate this idea of right now we're in a deficit situation. And what I mean by a deficit situation is we're using reserves right now. We already are going into reserves because we hit the cap, and then we also still needed a little bit more money to cover that amount. If we were able to get an increase on the cap, we could basically, in effect, mitigate how much we're burning from reserves and solve some of those issues so we can really focus on programming for students and what we are supposed to be doing in terms of representing students and being ethically responsible with our money. All right, that's all.
Thank you very much. Moving on to questions then, I see Senator Dustin.
Yeah, so my question goes to President Zima. So you said if the cap is raised and maybe we make some adjustment to the fees, students still have the ability to oppose it? If that's the case, what is the consequence of not raising the cap at all?
Mm-hmm.
If it would ultimately fail, for instance, if the students say, no, we don't want for fees to be increased, what would it be in terms of programming if we don't raise this cap?
So, like, let's say, so in state statute, any increase 2% or higher needs to go to a vote. In the past, at least since I've been here, this is my 5th year, but if you see me on a tour, I'm just a senior. So in my past years, last year was the highest increase I've seen. Normally we keep it around that 2% or lower. Whether that takes just a bit out of reserves or something else. We also, as student government, at the end of this year when we pass the budget, we have to pass a backup budget that's below that 2% in case students fail it. What it means for programming, if we can, like if this cap does not move, students don't even have the option to say that they want more funding in areas. So like we would never go to referendum because it's a 0% increase every year. And like let's say students next year, because we're going to run out of reserves this year if we keep programming where it's at, which I'm sure we all have enjoyed programming around campus throughout our time. Let's say that next year students are like, you know what, we really want to fund, for an example, this is not budgetary, don't quote this during budget season. Let's say we really want to fund like Mavs in Action or Maverick Involvement Team. We want to make sure that they're already doing really well. We want to make sure they can continue to do well. We can't. Or else if we want to fund that, we need to cut somewhere else. Whereas if we raise the cap, then we could say like, we want to put more funding in this area and keep all else same. Then it would come down to if it's over 2%, it goes to a student referendum. That's how it's always been. Also, students have been, I mean, a 5-point-something% pass last year. And I want you all to remember that that's not hundreds of dollars. That's maybe, what would you say, John, like $5, $10 tops, like under double digits. It's like $6. Yeah, so it's like, it's just a couple dollars. This is not a like, well, it could be altering for people, but it's not a like $300 tuition increase, if that makes sense. So, I mean, if we want to be able to fund the student program students want, the cap needs to be raised.
Do I have any other questions? Any other questions?
Yeah.
Another question from Senator Dustin.
So, what are some of the reasons why the policy has been like this? Like, in the resolution, it says that the fees cap has not been reviewed for several years. So, what are some of the reasons why it has been stuck to this point, and why is there a need now to raise it?
I'm not sure. So the need now is because we're at cap and many of the other universities are. Of the 7, I know, like Moorhead was at cap. They did some shuffling around last minute. BSC or Bemidji's awfully close to the cap. St. Cloud's over the cap. Great question on how that happened, but Dr. Jones, I'm sorry to put you on the spot, but do you know of any reason it hasn't been reevaluated, or is it just system office doing system things?
So I served on the system with some of your representative system committee to look at tuition and fee policies probably about 4 or 5 years ago now. At that point, because it wasn't codified, to do a review of the fee policy every couple of years. And when you go look at the system policy associated with it, you'll see that language still not in there. There was the understanding that the system would look at it every 2 to 3 years, and to the degree that I can't speak to that's actually happened at this point.
Yeah. So, I mean, if it's not in policy, it doesn't happen, at least in system land sometimes. No shade, Chancellor. He's watching. So, okay.
Thank you very much. Do we have any other questions? Any other questions? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and move on to discussion on this proposal. On this resolution. Are there any points of discussion on this resolution? Any points of discussion? Senator Dustin.
Yeah. So my point of discussion is to really, first of all, I support the resolution because I really feel like during budget time, that would be the only opportunity we have to make any adjustment to the budget and all that. But at the same time, I want to understand like the full extent in terms of accountability to students to tell them why we have to do certain things. So the question of why this cap has not been raised for several years, but now we want to raise it, I think that should be, if you don't mind, a friendly amendment to this resolution to just explain a little bit, to give insight to all of us, because it seems like I'm going to vote on something that I don't know how it has been working in the past, and now I'm going to make decision on it right now. So I need a little bit more context, like into why it has been like that for several years, and why I should feel the reason now to amend it. So it could be something like inflations, like I heard Senator Roberts was talking about inflation is always going up and all that. So has it been the case why we have not increased the cap? Has it been only inflation, or have there been other reasons? So I would like to see those reasons in the resolution, and then hopefully we can have a discussion from there. Thank you.
Amazing, thank you very much. I saw you write down a amendment. Do you have a friendly amendment to add on here?
Can I give you some wording and we can discuss?
Yeah.
So whereas, anywhere in the whereas ones, I don't really care where you would like it. The cap has not been reevaluated.
For several years.
We can just add to that, for several years due to it not being included in the policy.
Yeah, if that's the reason.
Dr. Jones, that was my understanding of your point. Is that probably the reason?
Yeah, that's my understanding.
Okay.
Then does the original author of this motion
I'm on
accept?
board, yeah.
Okay. Does the second accept? All right, very nice. Then that friendly amendment will be added to the resolution. Do we have a point of discussion from Senator Roberts?
Yeah. I think in terms of your question, which I totally understand, right? Like there are some questions in that front. I think if we really do need it to have this discussion even further, there is a world in which we table this. Obviously, it's not preferable. Obviously, it'd be nice to be able to get it pushed at this Sunday meeting at Students United, so we can really get some progress on this. But there is a world where I think, Emma understands, and I understand, and everyone understands that there is a world where we should be voting on something that we don't fully understand too. So I totally understand that. I do think, though, that there is a lot of information in place. There's a lot of unique circumstances that we have been aware that have been coming up over time. We knew we were going to eventually hit this cap eventually. And one thing that we probably can understand from a system-wide perspective here is it's only been very recently that universities in the system have hit the cap or have been approaching the cap. This is relevant only now and wasn't relevant 5 years ago, 8 years ago, to where the discussion was really, worthwhile, to be honest. So I think I understand it in terms of a system-wide view, is that they didn't really have a reason to look at it because no one was hitting it. So I think the justification now, the real justification now is we are at it. And it's not just us, it's universities around the system that are now hitting that cap or about to hit the cap probably this year, that can have some pretty devastating impacts on students. And I think in terms of all of our constituents, I don't think any of our constituents would be upset with the idea of having the option to further support their programming, or to give us the option to further support their programming specifically. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Senator Roberts. President Zelmer.
So I second what Senator Roberts said, what they said about, people weren't approaching it, and the colleges and the universities are on this view. The colleges do not nearly have as much student programming that we have. The other universities don't even have as much student programming as we have because we have so many more students. So now that it has become an issue, I think that's why, and also they don't necessarily like to have extra conversations always. So I think, it's important that we pass it. I want to clarify, so Students United, our board meets once a month. That one is this Sunday. Again, I didn't see it because I didn't flip through my calendar. I'm going to start putting them on the public calendar out in the Senate office so you all can see events that come up and stuff, as well as when I have my thing. I want to bring that up there now in case, because I need, I believe it's 5 board members, so I need 4 more board members to vote with us to pass this at that level. Even if they don't pass it, we're still going to go ahead and push for it. That would just allow Students United to push for it as well. Especially for it to be reevaluated for the universities specifically. I get if they didn't want to raise it for the colleges. The colleges aren't near the cap right now, but we are at the cap, and that is detrimental to our student programming. So that's why I would like to pass it today. I am planning to motion to expedite it, so then you all I can bring this with the support of hopefully all of you. If not, that's okay. Be able to bring it with the support of the Senate to Students United to show that our 14,000 students support this motion.
Are you motioning to expedite now?
Sure. Motion to expedite voting for tonight.
Second from Senator Roberts. Oh my gosh, lots of people with seconds. Is there any dissent on the motion to expedite and vote on it today? Any dissent?
I dissent.
Okay, then in that case we're going to go into division and we're going to do a vote via, I'm going to do hand raise because it's the simplest, hand or placard raise. Will people who are in favor of expediting and voting today raise your placards? Okay, and lower your placards. All opposed? All right, thank you. Lower your placards or hands. And any abstentions? All right, thank you very much. Seeing that it is mostly in favor of the in expediting, we will be expediting and we will be voting on this resolution today. We still are in a phase of discussion unless I do not see any further discussion points. Are there any further discussion points?
Yeah.
Okay, further discussion point from Senator Dustin.
So, every decision we make, it affects not just us as student leaders, but also the people we represent. I feel like this resolution is a very good resolution. However, it does not have enough information that I think I can make a decision on behalf of thousands of students. Secondly, this resolution was introduced today is my first time seeing this resolution, at least for myself. So I feel like I am not equipped to make a decision on such a short notice. And the best decision I think I can make on behalf of students, that if they ask me why I voted for this thing, I should be able to justify is to give it a time to reflect on it and be able to make a rational decision. I'm not just going to vote on it because it is something that need, like you said, there's a need, but because I have reasons to vote on it. So I think we should look at it from that standpoint and be able to make decisions that we can justify, not just based on, yeah. So that's my discussion point.
Thank you very much. Senator Roberts?
I 100% understand your perspective. I will disagree on the fact that I think that we can vote on this today, and I think that we can vote pretty effectively under the principle of a few things. One, I've heard plenty of students talk about the need of their programs being funded, for one. Two, I mean, look to last year's referendum. It was a massive referendum. Over 60% of students who voted yes on that referendum to support student programming. So I don't think there's a question of whether students will not support this idea of giving the option to potentially down the road increase the fee, but potentially even $1 or $2 down the road, a relatively small amount, so we can help serve our students the best we possibly can.
All right, thank you very much. President Zellmer? Oh, do you want me to go to Senator Wynn first? All right, Senator Wynn?
Motion to previous question.
Motion to move previous question. All right, do I have any dissent to the motion to move previous question? That motion means that we go into a vote at this time. All right, I do not see any dissent, so I will assume unanimous consent on moving to previous question. I will also be doing this vote by raise of placard or hand. So once again, the options are in favor, opposed, and abstain. I will ask all in favor of passing this resolution. All right, thank you. Lower your placards. All opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you very much. All right, then in that case, this motion passes. Sorry for the noise. I try to keep it quieter for you. But congratulations, everybody. We have passed this resolution. We will now move along to our vacancy reports. Or not vacancy reports, our vacancy elections. And I'm sorry for the length of our meeting today.
Finally,
motion?
Vacancy.
Motion to recess for how long?
5 minutes.
Motion for a 5-minute recess. Do I have a second? I see a second from Senator Roberts. Do I see any dissent on a motion to recess for 5 minutes? Any dissent? I do not see any dissent unless that's a dissent from me. All right, then in that case, we will enter a 5-minute recess. Please be back in your seats by 5:52.
Can I motion to end the whole meeting?
Oh no.
Give the lady your jacket.
Oh, thank you.
Are you asking? Can you take the Yeah.
Such a gentleman. You see a lady, it's kind of cold.
It's cool, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I told you, just maybe my temperature is not right.
Sorry for the noise, trying to get everybody back in place so that we can hopefully wrap this up in a reasonably soon time. But, all right, calling us back from recess, we are going to go ahead and jump in with our vacancies. We're going to go in order of the vacancies as listed. I do not believe that there is anyone, but I will ask anyways. Is there anybody here running for the Residence Community Senator position? Anyone here running for that position? Nope. Is there anyone running for College of Allied Health and Nursing? Anyone running for College of Allied Health and Nursing? No, I do not see anyone. Is there someone running for Graduate Studies Senator? Wonderful. Bruce Wenzel, will you please stand at the podium? And we are going to, how we're going to do this, everyone, is we're going to allow our candidate the opportunity to give a 2-minute opening speech. Following that speech, we will be given the opportunity to ask questions of the candidate, and then once we have asked a sufficient amount of questions, we will ask the candidate to leave the room while we discuss and then vote. You will be voting on behalf of your constituency because we find it very impractical to hold an entire school-wide election for every one person. So, in a second, I'm going to actually get a timer going for this in the sake of maintaining clarity. So whenever you are ready, go right ahead.
Sure. Can everyone hear me, or do I need to be closer?
Would you mind adjusting the mic up?
Is this better?
Yes, perfect.
Yes. I can hear myself this time. All right. Hey everyone. I was here a couple weeks ago. My name is Bruce Wenzel. I am the founding president of the Neurodiversity Activists, as Emma talked about earlier. I am also a graduate assistant, a graduate student in the Department of Sociology here on campus. This is my I'm entering my 7th year here in total at MSU. I did my undergrad, graduated with a BA back in May 2019, and I'm now entering my 3rd year of graduate school, so I have nearly a decade now of experience of how the university runs and what students have brought to my attention in terms of issues and peers and those sorts of things. I'm running basically to advocate for issues that I've been advocating for over the last year at a higher level of influence, I suppose, and also because a couple weeks ago after I came here, I had several people here come up to me and compliment what I was talking about and say that they'd supported, they were basically encouraging me to run, and I wasn't even necessarily aware of the position. So I guess I'm just sort of, the time came to, I guess, shoot for it. And then what would I do if elected? The short answer to that is basically what I would just continue to do what I've been doing at the student government level, meeting with administrators, allied faculty, students, consulting with scholars and other activists around the world to try to make changes at the institutional level of the university to make things better for all neuro minorities on campus, basically.
I'm sorry, Bruce, but I'm going to cut you off there, though it seemed like you were right.
I was done.
Perfect timing. All right, then in that case, I'm going to open up the floor for if anybody has any questions for our candidate. I see one from Senator Nirala.
You mentioned that you are a leader at your RSO. For the sake of the Senate, could you explain, if elected, how you would separate those responsibilities as a senator and as an RSO leader?
Can I ask a clarifying question?
For sake of Senate, could you explain how you would take both of those responsibilities hand in hand?
Oh, like how would I separate them? Or, well, in a way, I don't necessarily see them as separate. I feel like I can, in our constitution for our RSO, one of my main duties is to represent our student members at all times and to advocate for their interests. And I feel like in student government I would be doing that. So I'd essentially be doing 2 jobs at once. And again, from what I understand, a lot of the responsibilities in being with student government is being in those committee meetings, meeting with admin and faculty and other members of student government to help make change in these areas. And if anything, I think it would make my job at the RSO easier because it's not just me orchestrating those meetings independently, but working with the process that's already in place in student government. Basically riding a wave that's already here.
Amazing. Thank you very much. I will pass it over to President Zelmer.
Could you clarify your pronouns for us, please?
He, him for now, I guess. Some people call me they, and I feel okay with that, but I guess formally my email signature is he, him. I'll alert you of any changes if that changes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I will pass it to Senator Bassnett.
Okay, this is a quick question. It's a personal question actually. What is your strength and weakness?
Strength and weakness?
Yes.
Okay. I think one of my greater strengths actually stems from what I guess some people would perceive to be a weakness on my end. I was, I guess the best way to answer that question would be to say that I was actually born 5 weeks premature, so I guess you could say I've always been impatient. And I mean, I don't really, why should I put up with social injustice? I mean, thank you. That's basically what I don't, for example, one of the things I learned in reviewing the literature on a lot of these issues, and not only on college campuses, but around the world basically, is, for example, the average life expectancy of autistic people ranges from somewhere around 18 to 36 years less than the neurotypical majority, precisely because of the social justice issues and the systemic dehumanization and oppression and various other things that campuses often contribute to. So I don't like to waste my time. I don't like to waste my time. It's like, most people talk about how, life is finite and, you got to do the best with what you have. Well, if I have, 2 decades less than everyone else does, I like to hurry up.
Thank you. Do I have any other questions for our candidate today? Any other questions? Is that Senator Dustin?
What is the need that you have seen that you want to work on? Like the need on campus?
I'm going to go ahead and strike that question, as that's already talked about in the vacancy election information, where you can refer to what the candidate responded there.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry. Is there anything else? Any other questions? Any other questions? Seeing none, we will go ahead and move into a period of discussion.
2-minute closing.
Oh, 2-minute closing. Thank you very much. I nearly forgot. You have an additional 2-minute closing statement.
Oh, I don't know if I need 2 minutes or not.
That's all right.
Okay.
Just whatever you want.
Thanks for everyone, for Senator Roberts for showing me where the place even was. 2 weeks ago, I had some people had President Zelmer had offered to have me speak here. I met her during Welcome Week and said, hey, you can drop by during open forum if you want to talk about these things. I didn't even know really where y'all were. So shout out to Senator Roberts for even showing me where the place was. Thank you to, I don't know all of your names yet, but I recognize some people who came up to me and encouraged me to run. Thanks for, I guess, recognizing the work I've been doing in our organization. I guess that's about it. I don't really want to take up too much of your time.
Amazing. Thank you very much. Then in that case, will you please step out into the hall very briefly while we They don't have to anymore? Did we?
Maybe go with that last
cast?
Fix it.
They can choose
Yeah,
to
you
stay.
can choose whether or not you would like to stay for discussion, or you would like to exit out into the hallway.
I don't see a need. Would it be easier for you to discuss if I wasn't here?
Yeah.
No.
No.
I don't mind either way. I can step out into the hall.
I'm getting mixed responses. It is entirely up to you.
I can step out.
It is entirely up to you.
I'll step out.
All right.
Do I need to do anything official, or can I just
No.
go?
You can step out. We'll come get you afterwards.
Because you sleep last year. Goes around.
Oh, no, I don't.
Change
Okay, thank you very much. Ben. All right, for our period of discussion, a couple of ground rules that I'm going to lay down. Please only talk about discussion points that are pertinent to their ability to do the job here, and I will be striking down any comments that are not related to the pertinence of whether or not they are able to do the job. So I will then refer to Senator Roberts.
So first off, I want to say we all should be voting yes here for a multitude of reasons. Bruce is an incredible person. Bruce has done a lot of activism and has done a lot of fighting, not only for graduate students especially, but also fighting for especially neurodivergent students on getting them a more equal, fighting for equity on this campus and fighting against these fundamental issues of conversion therapy. So I really want to say that Bruce would be an amazing addition to our Senate, and I encourage everyone to please vote yes on this candidate.
Amazing, thank you very much. Senator Hawk?
I would say we should vote yes for him because he said he has been here for 7 years. And if someone has been here for 7 years, they know a lot about the campus and what needs to be changed than a lot of us that's here, to be honest. I have been here only for 4. And I would say he definitely knows a lot more than I do. So we need someone who has seen the campus needs, and what needs to be done more and what we think. So.
Thank you very much. Do we have Senator Roger?
Yeah, so I just want to say, based off Bruce's obvious leadership positions and experience, that I know I'll be voting yes. It's also an opportunity to have different voices heard. So yeah, I just wanted to say that piece.
Thank you very much. Senator Bassnett?
So I will be voting yes because I have met him before, and he is really one of the inspiration for our university now. So I think maybe we didn't like his speech here, but he's really great, and I think we should vote on yes to him. So.
Amazing. Thank you very much. Do we have any other points of discussion regarding our candidate? Senator Roberts?
Just motion. Motion to move to previous question.
All right. Motion to move previous question. Do I see a second?
Second.
Second. Any dissent? Any dissent? Seeing no dissent, we will move previous question. We're going to vote on this one. However, this is going to be a confidential vote. So we are going to write how we will be voting on a small piece of paper, and then I'm going to have our lovely advisor, John Volkoff, tally those votes. Please write down if you are yes or if you are in favor, no if you are opposed, or abstain if you abstain.
You get that side, I'll get this side.
All right. Thank you very much.
It's Paul. Thank you. That's where your letter's Wednesday. It is? Oh, boy, I forgot. Do we have one? Oh, myself.
Sorry, you're not ready.
What?
To our amazing speakers. Yep.
Where did John go? Oh, he's packed over there. Let me go bring him some votes.
Okay. paper next to
I have a video of me singing on my phone. Here, Mike. Forget it. Oh.
Biết nói xíu thôi, thì nói được mà nói chuyện với người lớn được.
Sorry, I had to be professional. I'm sorry.
No, it's
Use the way you speak is weird.
Many apologies.
some Senate presidents don't get a vote on anything, so it is what it is.
I'm going to bring our candidate back into the room.
You need like a 3-minute recess to write this down.
Society is better. Nothing, please. This might be better. The best we have right now.
Motion for a 2-minute recess so Emma can properly.
No, I can do it.
Okay. Do you retract your motion?
I will make it 30 seconds.
No, just give me like 1 minute.
Okay, 1 minute.
Okay. We are taking a 1-minute motion for Emma to quickly jot down the words for the swearing in.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, we are ready. Will candidate Wenzel please take the stand? Yeah. All right. We have had an election, and we've tallied the votes. And following the tallying of the votes, candidate Wenzel has been voted in as our new Senator of Graduate Studies. If you would please, our President Zelmer is going to swear you in. I'll let you take it from here.
So if you could raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Bruce Wenzel,
Will represent and serve
will represent and serve
the students of Minnesota State University Mankato
the students of Minnesota State University Mankato
in student life
in student life
and academic needs,
and academic needs,
and will uphold the mission,
and will uphold the mission,
Constitution, and bylaws
Constitution, and bylaws
of the student government.
of the student government.
I do so affirm.
I do so affirm.
Congratulations. Thank you so much, people.
Welcome to Senate. You may now join us at the table. You are effectively a senator for the rest of this meeting and
and going forward.
And going forward. Yeah. You got your
We're
word?
It's
What?
not on anyone's lap.
Yeah. All right. Seeing that we have just completed that vacancy election, we will move on to the remaining vacancy elections. I do not. Do we have anyone here for College of Humanities and Social Sciences? Yes, indeed. Howdy. Will the candidate please take a stand? You will also, once again, be given the same opportunity to have a 2-minute opening speech, then questions, then a closing speech, and then you will be given the option whether or not you want to remain in the room or outside of the room for discussion and voting. But without further ado, I will allow you your 2-minute opening speech whenever you are ready.
Hello everyone, my name is Amal Sharafanjayeva, but everyone calls me Amalia, so please. I'm a freshman in Mankato State University. I'm studying in cognitive science, emphasizes in psychology, and I'm here as international student who can bring the experience and thoughts into University of Mankato, and I can share my experience with what I have in my country, with what I have in my thoughts to develop science in Mankato, to develop this college in Mankato. I personally have 6 concerns about the awareness of the College of Humanities and Social Sciences, about how hard it is and how people after graduating this college can find their place in the world. How can they develop themselves? How can they serve the people around the world? And which openings they can do in the fields of science and social activities. The other concern I have is that we need to do events with professional speakers who can bring our students more experience, who can make learning science better, easier, and funnier for students, who can eventually be very famous people, in the world, who can be our Einsteins. Yes, this is what I'm actually into, because myself is all about studies. Yes, I'm a nerd. So I want everyone to feel that studies is something they like, studies is something they can do, and studies is something that will bring you to a brighter future.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to go ahead and cut you off
Of
right
course,
there. Thank you very much.
I'm done.
Well, thank you very much. Sorry, I need to get better at giving people the signal of how much time they have left.
Okay.
I need cards, yeah. But I will now open it up for any questions. I see Senator Roberts.
Can you finish explaining what you were going to finish explaining?
Science is something people don't really like. They think they like it, they start it, they graduate, maybe, if they can. And then they just don't know what to do. They don't know what they do with their knowledge, how they spend their 4 years or 5 years or 7 years. And they doesn't feel like the science made something for their lives, and they doesn't feel like they can do something for developing environment. And not only environment, like the world, people around them. And what I want to do is, I want to give an opportunity to study, to find a place in the world, to graduate science, and have small little things like tutoring for science majors, like better undergraduate research centers. Because myself, I have problems with URC. I can explain later.
Thank you very much. Senator Bassnett?
Oh, I absolutely love your humor about science and study feels more like a yoga class, but I did understand that you want to put a platform out there for the study of science and then what to do with that to the real world. My question, however, is, since this is a team and teamwork, what is teamwork for you?
Please, again, please.
What is teamwork for you?
Teamwork.
Yeah.
Teamwork. Actually, this is a big question for me because teamwork is something I have learned to do for the past 5 years. I have a learning experience in digital company where everything depends on team. If you have no task for your designer, for example, the designer is suffering because he cannot do the work and he cannot raise the money for himself or herself. And for myself, teamwork is something when people around you, your team, is supporting you in any conditions and you are ready to support them in any conditions. And you feel like you understand what your partner is doing without words. Like, he did the thing and I'll do the thing to support him or help him. This is how I see the teamwork.
Thank you very much. I'm actually going to ask a question. What are your pronouns?
It's she, her.
She, her? Thank you very much. Then I'm going to pop over to Douglas Roberts.
I know you talked a lot about science, on the science end of things, but what are your thoughts on the arts side of the humanities and social sciences?
Arts.
Yeah, so like music, theater, art itself, digital art, so on and so forth.
I actually, I feel like I'm not an artist, but I'm trying to be. Because art is something I like. It's cultural. It's more like a cultural to me. It's something we need to know how to work with that. How do we apply it in our lives? Because we study from our early years, from books, from theater, from music, from different kind of arts. And this makes us people. And my thoughts on art is that we need to know how do we apply it in our daily things, how do we learn it, and what do we learn from the arts, and who do we become from the arts.
Thank you very much. Do we have any other questions for our candidate? Oh, yes, Senator Wenzel.
Anything to raise.
No, yeah.
You had mentioned, thanks. You had mentioned the idea of having speakers come in.
Yep.
Would you, because you're in the psychology program, correct? So would you support then having, for example, neurodiversity scholars or researchers come in to talk about how they could make suggestions for improving the psychology program to be more inclusive, for example?
This is absolutely what I meant. This is absolutely what I want. I want to diverse our knowledge with scholars from outside, with scholars who can bring their experience in here in Mankato and can share with students who are here in psychology and neurobiology and cognitive science majors, so we can develop.
Amazing. Thank you very much. Senator Roberts?
Can't let you get away without asking the famous one.
That's
strengths and weaknesses.
I'm sorry, can you?
Strengths and weaknesses.
Oh, okay. My weakness is probably my emotions. You know, I'm not emotional. I feel like I'm not emotional, and yeah, I can pretend cold a long time, even if I'm struggling, even if I want to cry. I can pretend cold, very much, and I will never ask for help because this is a problem with emotions. What about strength? Strength is I'm a very motivated person, self-motivated, and I don't need nobody to tell me you should do something, because I'm the person who tells everybody you guys should do something. This is it. I hope I answered.
Yes, thank you very much. Do I have any other further points of discussion, or not discussion, questions before we move on to discussion? I do not see any other further points. So, oh, there goes my pen. So we're going to move into discussion.
Closing.
Oh, 2-minute closing. I keep forgetting that.
I forgot when I was speaker too.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to get impeached. All right. I will give you your 2-minute closing statement whenever you're ready.
Okay, actually I have nothing to say more, but thank you guys who helped me, for you guys, for Mariana, for Kashangi. I'm glad to know you.
Oh, well, thank you very much for that. Then in that case, you will be given the same option that Senator Wenzel was given, where you can either choose to stay in the room for discussion or step out for discussion.
I actually feel like him, and I want to ask you if you're comfortable if I will stay.
It's up to you, fully.
Okay, I want to stay because my belongings is here. I don't want to.
Yes, absolutely. No, you are more than welcome to stay. Then I will once again preface with the same statement. Please keep all discussion points pertinent only to the ability for them to do the job, and do not include any personal reasons why you may or may not support or oppose this candidate. And we will let everybody go right ahead. Senator Bassnett.
Okay, I feel like we all laughed after my speech. She was very innocent and pure, and then the fact that she was so confident being just first year student, I can totally relate to when I was a first year student and I was shaking all the time. Well, I was not shaking, but I was shaking. So, yeah, and I think we should vote for her. She's amazing. She's amazing. I love the confidence. I love the fact that the linguistic part was really concerning. However, she doesn't leave that part to be her weakness. So I think we should vote her.
Thank you. Do we have any other points of discussion? Senator Dumanji.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that I think it's very important to let first-year students express themselves, and so they feel also needed, despite the fact that they probably don't have enough, or like experience like everybody else in the room, but still it gives them a good start. So yeah.
Thank you very much, Senator Dustin.
Actually, I was not convinced more than when she said she's self-motivating, and she's someone who likes to tell people to do stuff instead of you telling her to do stuff. I feel like we need that energy in the Senate because we have a lot of times, especially with projects, it gets overwhelming and people tend to be very slow doing things. So having someone who would tell you, hey, you have a meeting, get up, go, do this, or it's time for Senate. I think that would really help us to do great. So she's not only bringing her amazing leadership characteristics, but also she will be someone who will help other people to do things. So I think she will be a great candidate.
Thank you. Senator Jha?
I think I'm going to vote yes for her because it is so bold for somebody who is a freshman and an international and just come here and talk and be willing to take up all the points that you're like thinking about the field you're in. I was doing nothing. I was going to make a fool wrong in my freshman year, so that is very, very nice of her and bold of her and so confident. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Senator Roberts?
Previous question.
All right, we have a motion to move previous question to voting. Do we have a second? Seconded by President Zellmer. Do we have any dissent? Seeing no dissent, amazing. We're going to move to voting. How we're going to do this is the same as the last election. So take out a small piece of paper, write yes, no, or abstain, and then give it to either myself or John.
Yes,
Lentos. What? Lentos.
We're having a good one up.
No, I keep this one. Yes, on the
इसके बारे में कुछ मुझे समझ मुझे जो भी आए ना
So good. Right. Why?
if I don't know what I'm doing.
You know how much money you're going to take?
No, it's so interesting.
You going to?
Yeah.
For me? Yeah. Just me. Just you. Probably like 40,000. 40,000? Nobody's trillionaire. Just feel it now. But you can imagine you can make $5 million in the first 10 years.
Alright, well, our candidate, whose last name I really don't want to butcher, so I'm not going to pronounce, please take the stand.
I know, you can call me Sharaf by last name.
Sorry, what did you say that we can call
You
you?
can call me Sharaf by last name. It's a shortened version. Yep.
Amazing, thank you very much. Well, then in that case, my friends, we have once again had our second election of the day, and we may now welcome our new Senator Sharaf.
Thank you.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you, everybody. I think we'll be a good team.
Yes. Before you leave, we are of course going to swear you in once again, so I'll pass it back off to Emma Zellner.
Yeah, so if you could raise your right hand and repeat after me. Yes, I would probably raise my hand. I state your name.
I, Amal Sharaf Khajaeva,
will represent and serve.
The
students of Minnesota State University, Mankato.
The students of Minnesota State University, Mankato.
In student life.
In student life.
And academic needs.
And academic needs.
And will uphold the mission.
And uphold the mission.
Constitution and bylaws.
Constitution and bylaws.
Of the student government.
Of the student government.
I so affirm.
I so affirm.
Congratulations. You can take a seat at the table. Yeah.
Thank you very much. So, I will say, is there anybody here applying for the position of off-campus senator? Off-campus senator? I did not believe so. I'm also going to announce that there are 2 vacancies that are going to be voted on 2 weeks from now, being an at-large senator as well as a College of Humanities and Social Sciences senator. We just filled one of those seats and then a brand new one just opened up. Very unfortunate. But do I see a motion over there for Senator Hoff? Yes.
Can we motion to suspend, roll call.
Motion to suspend, roll call. I'm going to throw something else on there. Do you want to be nice to me and also motion to suspend announcements?
Yes.
No?
No, okay.
All right, never mind. Never mind. But a motion to suspend, roll call. Does that second still stand?
Second stands.
Second still stands? All right, we have a motion to suspend, roll call. Any dissent? That just means that we just want to roll call at the end of the meeting. Any dissent? Seeing no dissent, assume unanimous consent. We will move on to announcements, and then after that we will end the meeting. Do we have anyone for announcements? Not Senator. Advisory, John Volkov.
Thank you all. Thanks for your good work. Continue to do stuff that's going to be serving to your students and ask good questions. I know there were some heavy topics today, so don't be afraid to bring those up. Encourage you also to work on those in committee. That's where stuff really happens, is at the committee level, okay? So do your homework and do stuff at the committee level and try to accomplish things there and come here to talk about your accomplishments and the progress you've made. So that's what I want to encourage you to do. Also, there's a very busy couple of weeks coming up. In less than 2 weeks, homecoming is here, as mentioned by Bill Tourville. So please be sure you're looking out for those events. Lip Sync is one of the highlights of the week, so that Thursday night is a great event to try to attend as well. Thank you for those who are agreeing to help with the t-shirt distribution. The t-shirts are in the Student Activities Office, ready to go. And so gates open at 4:30, and that's when you want to be set up and ready to go by 4:30. So thanks to those who've been able to volunteer, and thanks to Mr. Constantine for helping to get them over there. So that will help with transportation as well. If there are any questions, please don't be afraid to reach out to me and let me know what I can do to help as your advisor, also in the Student Activities Office. So please let me know.
Amazing, thank you very much. Senator Victor Wynn?
Tomorrow, there's a Sigma Pi is having a pizza meeting tomorrow.
Morris Hall 102, 7 p.m. Free pizza, free stuff. So you want like $50 gift card. So if you guys can stop by, it's great. So.
Thank you very much. Senator DiMenci?
Yeah, tomorrow, September 8, is the first meeting of International Student Association, and there will be different international RSOs. If you guys want to join any of them or like explore, learn more about them, or you're wondering how can you create a new international RSO, so you're welcome to come. It's going to be at CSU 201 at 5 p.m. tomorrow.
All right, thank you very much. Senator Bassnett?
I just want to say, please look forward to join Homecoming. It's coming up from Monday, and it will be fun. You're gonna win prizes. There will be prizes, and then you also can, for the international students, you also can have international maybe scholarship points. So that is great for having fun, and then also win the prizes. So please come, please.
Thank you very much. Any other announcements? Senator Wenzel?
Pride Fest, South Central Minnesota Pride Fest, Saturday from noon to 4 p.m. My RSO will be there tabling. Come say hi and celebrate diversity around town.
Amazing. Thank you very much. President Zelmer?
Just a reminder, if you all are free on Friday, even if you didn't sign up last week, I'll send out that email tonight. I wrote it down, so it should happen. If you were just selected, you'll receive an email from me with a form, as well as we can find a time to chat soon. Just make sure you all feel good to go, and that you feel like you know what's going on. I promise not all of us know what's going on most of the time. So it's okay to ask questions and slow down, but congratulations and welcome to the team. Beyond that, I look forward to seeing you all at homecoming events. I'll be passing around next week a parade sign up. And last reminder, Friday at 3 p.m. in the arena in the Taylor Center, Breslin Arena in the Taylor Center. Make sure you show up, look good, you get to mingle. There's also system office people are going to be there, university presidents from other universities are going to be there, so you get to mingle with them all after, and you get to see me, Speaker Novak, and our vice president wear academic robes, but I've been told I will not get a hat or a cape, because I said I would then say I got a PhD. So I will only be wearing a robe, and also support me in my speech. I'm a little excited, but a little nervous, so awesome. Make sure you're there Friday at 3.
Thank you very much. Any other announcements? Any other announcements? See no announcements, and as a roll call has been waived, I hereby adjourn this meeting at 6:38 p.m.
Thank you.
Actually, 34. Red clock. 34.
I should come in my hoodie next time.